check the stats really quickly, how the Division 2 is looking. And Super Saiyan with 90 points, 11 race wins so far. Average session point is 18. It's not the highest in the league because TT stands with the highest average points per session, which is 25, since he won all the 3 sessions that he took part in. And yeah, third place is for Ashen Forest with 70 points, 1 session win, race wins only 6, and 14 averaging points. So I think even though the Division 2 was extremely hyped before the start, it feels really that Super Saiyan, TT, Ashen Forest are just ahead of the pack because the gaps are just huge. Like the difference between third and fourth place is just 16 points. So it's a lot. It seems
Yeah.
it's a big gap, big gap that we didn't have. I don't think even this there's such a big gap between first and fifth place in Division 3, because in Division 3, let me do the math. Yeah, the difference between first and fifth place is 20 points. So yeah, this gap between Ashen and Taku is just enormous here.
Yeah, exactly. Super has two third places, which Ashen Forest also has. Ashen Forest has one first that Super doesn't have. Actually, Super just got his first win in the featured session, and so that puts him at the front. But we did have two very slow starts from Ashen in the advanced and classic sessions, so he's been doing a lot of catch up, whereas TT has been falling down in the rankings by not showing up to sessions. But he does, like we said, they take the best 7 out of 10, so not a big deal. But it is going to it's going to skew the standings a little bit. Taco starting off strong and has fallen down pretty considerably over the past 3 sessions. But again, taking away 3 sessions, he's got 220 points for second place twice in a row. So not bad. It's just going to depend on the second half, basically, of our sessions.
Yes. And what I want to actually point out is it seems like every single player in this league is taking active part in the division and has scored some points. So even though Vazowski is on the last place, he still got some points on his account. So this is really nice that the entire division is active, and I really like that. Okay, let's just jump to
Definitely.
the cherry on the top, because the best players, arguably the best players in the rival scene, but for sure in the league. So we've got the Division 1 after 4 play days, and of course, before we jump to discussion about the standings, I have to mention a really great performance by Nick and Powerade last session. That was an incredible fight for them until the last race. But in all of it, Frostbitten made use of GeForce missing a playday. So Frost took the first place. Powerade really going through the rankings, occupying the third place. Nick also with a huge boost of 25 points, being in the sixth place. So I would say if you look at the points, like the first, okay, because we still have like -1 play day, so we cannot compare the top scorers. But let me bring some stats really fast of what we have in Division 1. And after the 4 play days, right, we've got 4 different people that won each playday. We've got GeForce with a win, we've got Laggy Rock with the win, with actually impressive win in the first session with the picks on, I believe. We've got Jan with, I think he won the session 1, so also incredible showing, and Nick with the last session win. So getting really interesting. The average point is really tight. A lot of players with 10, 12, the top of the league is still GeForce with 19 points averaging, and a lot of players has won even individual races. Only Ama, Tom Dom, and unfortunately Lampert missing out with a race win, because even Kiki occupying the last place, he won a one race during a session. So really competitive league, and we're gonna see what will bring playday number 4. But we still got some 30
Yeah.
minutes to talk about what is it for today. Yuhong, just see if you can give the feed, because if you won't be able to give a feed, we'll just probably stop the stream here and we'll just move to your stream and just go with the.
Yeah. I mean, I have the stream. I'm on the YouTube page, but the link it's giving me, I don't really know what to do with it. So maybe we can figure it out real quick. I'm pretty sure we should be ready to go, but just not really sure how to link it to you.
Just
And
normal
you know,
link if I if that you have in the browser is enough. I think
okay, we can try that.
I will check it. But okay.
All
Meanwhile,
right, let me visit.
let's talk about what we have in store. Unless you want to add some really quick about the Division One, but
Yeah, well,
we'll talk about.
I did.
Okay, you need to
I
actually allow it to me.
yes, just what was that?
Wait, what? Oh wait, you send me a wrong link because that's not the one. It's
Uh,
like normal YouTube when you just come in to watch some video. It should be this one, not from the studio, but from the channel.
okay,
Yeah.
cool.
But
We'll
anyways,
try
I will
that.
jump to the rules. Sorry guys for it being a little bit messy, but we don't want to have any delays with the competition here, and we're just trying to have the feed here. So rules for today, because today we're gonna have. Let me check. What's the name of the today? I think it's
Today's session is
featured.
the featured
Yeah,
session.
featured. So
To yeah.
I will gonna read rules because there were some discussions as well with potential advantages or whatnot. So guys, remember to follow the rules. It's all about fair competition. So yeah, the first rule is pretty obvious. You know, the players can only use one car, and the cars are really nice. We've got all the stock cars with Toyota, Hama, the one and only Cougar, of obviously AMW, and some three others that I don't know of. And also there's Panga, so maybe I think Sting likes this car, Panga. So maybe we're gonna see him on that car. But okay, do not shoot lapping or lapped cars. Only battle players on the same lap as you. This is actually a really interesting rule. As a player, I would feel that would be hard to implement, but it's good to keep in mind because if you're being a lapped person, right, just don't maybe try to shoot the leader. I don't know how this should initially work, but you know, like try keep this in mind. Remember, disturbing other players with zero competitiveness, reverse racing, player hunting, bodyguarding your friend on track will result in a penalty or to a ban from the league. Yeah, we want to keep it fair and square. It's free for all. Everyone fights for the best results. Voice chat is not allowed during the races. I heard that this might bring some advantage where someone says, "Oh, I have this weapon," or "I have this weapon," or "There's someone or somewhere in oil that I've seen and you didn't see." So yeah, try to keep in mind those rules and quickly for the track list of today because there are going to be a lot of tracks. Some that I remember seeing, some that I don't remember seeing. So we've got Grisville, Wake, Airport, Kadish, Sprint, Spavolt, Meltdown, Toy World, Aquatica, Redux, Spaceship, Petrovolt, The Bunker, Venice, Game Room, Santorini, and Mysterious Toy Vault Factory. So a lot of tracks for today, a lot of mayhem, a lot of weapons, I think, a lot of fun clips, I hope so as well. And yeah, Honk. I think soon we're gonna go to our favorite part, which are predictions. But if you want to add anything
Okay.
said so far,
Sure. So first of all, I think we're not going to have any issues with lapping or with teaming and stuff like that. I think, especially the shooting lapping cars rule, especially something more for Division Three and Two, maybe people not as familiar. These people should definitely not be having issues with that, although it does kind of happen regardless. It can get a bit messy, shockwaves, etc, but it should be fine. Also, another little note. This is just something I found interesting. Frostbitten is in first with no wins, and then we've got people who have wins all the way down to sixth place. So, first division is definitely the most diverse and widespread battle for podiums out of anybody, out of any of the other divisions. So, definitely good when Division One is the one that's popping off the most. Division Two and Three are as well, of course, but cool to see that range of competition. Pickups on the tracks are pretty wacky. Definitely some oddballs in there, and actually kind of a lot of oddballs. So that'll be cool to see, especially from a spectator perspective. And yeah, that should be about it.
Okay, so okay, just one thing. I wrote you on Discord, so if you just could check it, because I
Yeah.
don't want to state it here on the stream. But guys, predictions. I don't know exactly who is taking part today in the session, so who's missing or who's not. So maybe we'll make some correctness because I don't have the confirmed list of the players. But if I am looking at those 16 players and I should pick my top three, I mean, I gotta be smart about it and follow my heart. And I have to say, the first name that comes to my mind is Laggy Rock. The last time he played the session with the pickups, he played phenomenally. So I think Laggy Rock maybe feels good with this. I will go with him as my top three. The last session I actually picked Nick, Powerade, and I believe Frost. So I correctly predicted two players to be in top three. So we just don't do any particular order. So I will pick Laggy Rock. I will pick ah G-Force. G-Force. I also feel like G-Force is just extremely good in the overall sessions and in those picks-up sessions as well. So Laggy Rock, G-Force, and the third one is the hardest one. I mean, it's the hardest one to pick, but I have to say, Ama feels he's showing up more and more. I have to say, like, Ama is impressing me. So, but Matty also impressing me a little bit as well. And Killabarus. I honestly have a huge feeling about
Mm,
Killabarus for today. So I will go with Lagirok, Killabarus, and GeForce as my top three for today. I have a good feeling with
okay.
Killabarus. Like, he's such a joker for me on the races, man.
Yeah. Caleb Barnes is he's just been middle of the field in the overall standings, but he's definitely been a challenger throughout the entire races. I'm gonna choose one that's the same as you. I gotta go with Laggy Rock too because we had a classic picks on session where he drove Toyeka and dominated the competition. I expect him to be racing Toyeka again, picks on here too, so he's gonna be feeling pretty comfortable there. The tracks might kill him a little bit because there are some oddballs, but nothing that's not outside the IO main pack. So that's I think Laggy Rock's a good bet. Um, I'm gonna put our resident weird car player on the map and pick Ertzu for number two. Um, and then I honestly I wanted to give Tom Dom the underdog pick for this one, but um, I think Frostbitten might choose the S13 Altoon, and I'm a huge fan of that car, so I'm actually going to put Frostbitten for my number three.
Okay. I mean, I chose Frostbitten last time, but I have such a strong feeling about Killabarus for today. Don't actually disappoint me. I'm not okay. I'm actually putting some pressure on Killabarus, but yeah, I mean, gonna see with Lagrok as well. Will be extremely interesting with the follow-up. And the good news, I got the feed, so everything is working. Hong,
Cool.
so yeah, you will be actually. We've got 4 minutes until the first race, and the first race is going to be Griswild. So who do you think gonna have a strong potentially start on this map?
So on this track, I think a lot of who is going to be able to succeed actually comes down to getting that pole position to start you off. If you get a an oil, especially, but if you can get a zap too, and you can zap people in that narrow corridor right before the first jump, you can really set yourself ahead of the pack. So I know not a specific person, but I'm just gonna say whoever is pole position on the left side is who I'm going for.
Small update, Frost is not taking part in today's session, so you have to change Frost.
I'll
You
have
have
to
to change
switch.
Frost, yeah, yeah.
Easy pick, Tom Dom. I was going to pick him for the underdog award. He's not been doing crazy hot, but he has definitely been putting in some work and has definitely had some moments where it looked like he could be bringing home a lot of points.
I see. I mean, I would actually love to see Tom Dom do good. He had a really rough last session. That was extremely rough for him. So
Mm-hmm.
actually getting that confidence buff would be really nice to see, honestly. So yeah, finger crossed for every single players because let's remember this entire league, this entire thing is just to have fun, enjoy it, and occasionally just win some money. So the competition is always fun. So yeah, but Tom Dom, nice pick, nice pick. We're gonna see. So we've got still 3 minutes. What we can talk about more? Can we actually? Do you want to actually elaborate on Division 3 or 2 because you were kind of busy
Sure.
before?
Yeah, we can do some of that. Especially, I feel like Division Three. I didn't get to talk very much about,
Yeah,
so we could pull that up for a second.
yeah,
So, Kondrakov got his first win at the featured session. Kippy in second. But again, we're surprised to see people who aren't Kippy or Lopeska getting the W's in what I would describe to be a Toyeka focused session. Now pickups were on, and so crazy stuff can happen. But for example, we saw Laggy Rock completely dominating the field with the pickups on session. He just seemed like he was head and shoulders each track ahead of the competition. So um, definitely expected Kippy to probably be winning that, especially with Lopeska not in. Kippy's still getting second, don't get me wrong, but it's just a really strong standing from Kondrakov. He's got 2 seconds leading into that. And kind of like Ashen Forest in Division 2, he had two kind of late. It, I mean, not bad, 13 points and 9 points. So somewhere around like fifth and seventh or something like that, or fourth and seventh. So not terrible, but definitely a lot to be desired compared to what he's been racing recently. So definitely have got my sights set on Kondrakov because he's been off of a lot of people's radars. Mostly been looking at Tova, Jeromu, Lopeska, and Kippy there in Division 3. And Jeromu has been on the AMW and it hasn't been paying off for him. So he's been slipping down the ratings somewhat. Berdang, a lot of people rooting for him, as well as Inigo Rave from the Spanish speaking community. Neither one of them have been able to take off very much. But we'll see how that continues to go. Kippy, expected by a lot to be a shoe in, but he's having to fight for the podium. So we'll see how he continues to do also.
nice, nice. That's actually beautiful. Summarizing of Division 3. But I think that we're getting ready with the first race of Division 1.
Yeah, yeah.
This is going to be a
I've
treat.
got an announcement to make, and then we will be hopping right over.
So grab your beers, audience, grab your drinks, grab your waters, whatever. We're gonna jump really soon to the first race of division number 1, and we'll see who will come on top actually there. If Frost is going to defend his first position in the league, is GeForce going to maybe dominate yet again, or maybe we're gonna have another dark horse rising up like Laggy Rock once, like Nick finally winning in a really nice fashion in the league. The uh, or the Powerade, the new blood in Division 1, the champion of Division 2 last season. Or maybe a completely new face will finally rise here. Maybe Kiki, Lampert. I mean, Lampert is missing today. I don't know if Kiki is racing, but the players that are on the bottom, we've got Matty, Ama, Tom Dom, Sting, Erzu, BGM, a lot of players that can rise just one win and you're back in the top 6 fighting for the win, or at least for the top 3 because the top 3 is being rewarded with the guaranteed prize pool in the Division 1 and Division 2. And also, guys, remember, if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe because every penny from the subscription is contributed to the prize pool. I actually yesterday renewed my subscription, so there is a continuous support towards the league, guys. So I encourage you all to actually do the same if it's possible. So we've got already players joining the lobby. We've got Nick, GeForce, Powerade, Jan, Lagirok, and Mati. So far in the lobby.
Yeah, and shout out for all the support so far. It's been way more subscriptions than I could have ever expected, so that's super cool to see. Yeah, we actually in the Revolt Endurance Championship last weekend we saw Stingox win, which broke up a seasons long tradition of Frostbitten and Famous winning every single track. So there's definitely some feelings in the air about a changing of the guard in the top of Revolt endurance or Revolt competitive racing, and so it would be cool to see if maybe an underdog won here in the featured session.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Sting is, I
And
feel like,
Stingnox,
being mentioned a lot by you always, but somehow he's struggling in the league itself,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
unfortunately.
And I will say, Stingnox on the Hummer, we've often seen him uh, kind of turn his back to the Hummer. He's been on the Toyota for a couple of years now, but previously he was known as a Hummer expert, one of the best Hummers, if not the best Hummer driver in the entire game. But like we said, kind of turned his back on it lately for a pretty long amount of time now. But we see him back on the Hummer today, and I really can't emphasize it enough. In a pickups on lobby with a good amount of people, Hummer is actually a very competitive pick. Great recovery, great acceleration, and if you can manage to uh, kind of rein it in, it is harder to do than a car like Toyota, but if you can do it, then it could definitely pay off. We also see G-Force actually in the S13 All-Tune. I thought it would be Frost, and since Frost wasn't here, I thought we wouldn't see it, but we do see the S13 All-Tune, which is said to be by a pretty good amount of people in the top of Revolt to be actually a really competitive car with the Toyota. We also see the RVRC 20, which was not seen in Division 2 or 3. So it's always good to see a higher degree of experimentation happening in the top league because it really says that the the sessions were designed well and in a competitive way. Some people just prefer to opt for those comfort picks, which in this case is definitely the Toyota. We see a good number of Toyotas here too. There is a Hummer being driven by Kilabar, Stingox back in the lobby with Hummer, Ertzu on the Cougar, which I'm sure you're very happy to see.
But I mean,
And we
come
got
on,
some,
guys.
yeah.
I'm a little bit miming, right? I know. Just play the car you feel most comfortable with winning, right? You don't have to, put a
No, no,
tribute
no,
or
no.
anything.
Hey, no, this I can guarantee you, Ertzu on Cougar is not a tribute. He loves this car. He's gonna race it regardless. We
I
got
see.
Ama in the S13 All Tune as well, so really have the highest amount of car experimentation, the highest amount of car variance here in Division One, which is actually kind of the opposite of what you'd expect it to be. But it really does show that if you're willing to practice some of these other cars, maybe some of the cars that are seen as oddballs, they actually might have an edge over a car like Toyota. We'll see if that's the truth or not. G-Force, Yun,
Okay.
Ertzu, and Ama.
Great
Yes.
news, Hong. Actually, Jeromo
Yes.
is here
Yes.
to provide us the feed. So if you could
After all
actually,
that.
yeah, ask if you could ask players to actually wait 2 minutes, we're gonna get Jeromo as an observer. And I have to say, Jeromo, guys, tell me on the chat. In my opinion, he's doing a great job as an observer, really mixing it up with the cameras, the angles. It's really fun and a treat to watch it. If you have any suggestions, like
Definitely.
go encourage him. I feel like this is adding a lot to the production, a lot to the entire experience of the stream. So yeah, show some love, show some hearts. I really last time great angles. It's really fun to in a treat to see someone enjoying the game through the years so much and still trying to show what he likes seeing.
Yeah. Yeah. Jeromu is great at observing, so definitely good to see.
Yes. And again, I have to say one thing because a lot of times when you're Honk and the community is teaching me about the game, a lot of the time it's mentioned like Toyota is the car to pick, but you can see that a lot of players are willing to actually experiment with different picks, and just challenge that so-called the standard meta pick, right? And just try to fight with something else.
Yeah, and actually, a lot of the times in a competitive Revolt environment, this option isn't really afforded to the players. They're kind of allowed to play on Toyeka, Hama, or Cougar, and with picks off. And in that scenario, a lot of times Toyeka is really kind of the standout as seen by the players. So there's actually in typical Revolt competitive events, there's not very much room for variance. And so I expected come Division One that they would have the least amount of variance and that they would just drive Toyeka because it's what is typically the format and they wouldn't want to experiment much past that. So it's really exciting to see these different cars coming out. Of course, like we said, they're free to choose whatever they want. But to see them, willingly be like, you know what, I think the S13 All-Tune is that much better than the Toyeka that even though I have this much experience on the Toyeka, I'm still going to use the All-Tune over it. That's
Okay.
exciting to see, and we'll see
Okay.
if they've got it.
We're ready. Jerome is here. Let's just
Yeah.
not keep players for too long. Go start the first race, and we gonna see who gonna come on top. Okay, still waiting for a host to start the game. Ready. Sure. Let's go, guys. Blades are getting ready. And the first track is going to be Griswile. Griswilly.
Do I have the feed from Jerome?
I'm gonna show it on stream. You're gonna see it on the
How am I gonna see?
on the Vimix call. Forgot?
Cool.
Yeah, as always. Okay, tell me if you see. Tell me if you see. You should see.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the start, Honk. Are you here?
Yes, I am. We got the first turn here, and there's oil I was referring to. It's going to catch pretty much everyone. 4 people managing to escape. Water Balloon's going to change that. Keela and Laggy Rock, the only 2 who escaped. Of course, Hama having some special troubles through the grass, but S13 Altoon shares those same woes.
And why I'm not
And
surprised with having Laggy Rock in the lead here.
well, we'll see. He didn't take the shortcut, so Ewan does take the shortcut. Also had a star, and Laggy Rock with a bomb. I think that situation is going to continue to get worse. Ewan tries to break away.
This track feels like really technical, honestly, when I'm seeing it. I'm watching it for the second or third time, and it feels really hard to drive on. Oh, that oil.
Yeah, that oil, pretty much everyone in the know is going to be saving their oil for that specific spot. Basically gives you no room for correction. Double bombs going off. G4's terrible location for his bomb to go off, especially in the Altoon, which struggles with grass. BGM pops the battery while he's got his bomb and mostly wastes the battery. Keela against Ama for second. Laggy Rock very close behind in third. And Yun 120 meters in first. We'll see if he has any more oils or any more hazards he can lay on the track. Maybe a fake to drop for second place. Ama has got a nice gap there in second.
And this is actually a really beautiful race, and Jan with such a huge lead feels like he's gonna just keep it till the end unless he falls into some oil or any other trap. Power it laggy.
And the shortcut jump is being taken by Ama. Pretty much Laggy Rock, the only person not really going for it. And, well, we got Powerade as well, but Keela, for example, not going to be taking it. Just kind of showing the current position of all of our racers here in a row. Airtsu and the Cougar not able to do too much. Maddie swapped to the S13 Altoon, I think, right before the race started. And Stingok's Hama not able to do too much. The Cougar with the battery in 8th. Sorry, 10th. Okay, and we are flipping back towards the front. It is the last lap, and Yun has lost all 120 meters of his lead. Ama passes him up, and Yun in that RVRC 20 trying to make a statement, but it kind of ended up making the opposite of the statement that he hoped to make because he kind of got uh, pickups. He kind of escaped all the pickups and had smooth sailing. So I don't know what could have happened. Maybe some bombs into some nerves, but now we do have our race still going on, and the star used in the upslope could be disastrous. Makakowski beats out Nick somehow. Is G-Force, who has the distinct displeasure of being last place on our first track of the day in that S13 Altoon. So S13 Altoon got first and last place in Grisville.
I have to say that was
So
really surprising that Jan actually lost his such a huge lead over 100 meters. I don't know what happened there, but it has to feel bad.
yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, Jeromo was looking further backfield because that kind of looked like it was done and dusted, but Yun I'm not really entirely sure. We'll see if he's able to shake off the nerves after what happened there, or if it's going to continue to get worse from there because it is really easy to get in your head when you throw something like that. But it happens all the time. I will say it's not like something that never happens, but it definitely hits you where it hurts. So and
So Ama with the first session win of today, Jan with the second place. Let's see how the Quake will go on. We're already ready. I hope someone is actually updating the tables. Someone is actually. So we're gonna show after the next race of what are the tables. For now, Ama with the lead, Jan with the second place, Lagirod with the third place, Kilobattles fourth, Powerlight 5, and BGM 6 is our top 6. G-Force with the last place. He was in my top 3. Come on, G-Force. Come on, G-Force.
also shout out to chat. We got Senor Hippo and we got Kazurura cheering for some Latino American folks. We got some cheers for BGM, some cheers for Yun. We also got Spam This Gun to cheer up Yun. Shout out Steve's Camp for that one.
I think players are asking if you're ready, Honk.
I'm ready. I'm ready. Yeah, no need to ask
Oh.
me. I'm not in the lobby right now, so
Uh,
I left to make we got
yes.
we
I
got
need
to
to
have
actually
spectator.
I need
So
to actually make voice with Jerome because he doesn't see what we're talking about.
that's kind of what I was wondering about. I was like, don't we have a
Yeah,
Discord call when we do this?
I
But
will
yeah,
just change the audio
okay.
on the Discord so I don't see myself. I'm gonna add Jeromo here because we need Jeromo for that. He needs to hear us what we're talking about. Okay, now it should be
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. Okay. We ready. We ready. We ready. We ready, Jeromo. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We ready.
All right, ready to go.
Yeah. Sorry for inconvenience to the players and to the you guys. Just getting rid of that small technical issue. But I hope Jerome can hear us. Honestly. I'm gonna ask him if he can hear us. Okay, I guess the game is starting. So we're moving to the track number 2. That's actually a pretty long track. 843 meters.
Yeah, definitely decently sized track. Okay, in that first corridor into the bathroom jump. That oil could have been saved for somewhere else, but it is what it is. This would have been a great spot for it. There's a zap from Laggy Rock, and everyone's going to have to slow down. So everybody's congregated into this big group. Power 8 too tight on that. Oh, a lot of people are taking those stairs too tightly. Ertzu, third in the Cougar. Let's see if he's got what it takes to keep it going, though. Laggy Rock and a passive G-Force, beautiful oil. Now that is an oil. That is
Oh
definitely
my
an
god.
oil. And Laggy Rock with the patience. He definitely could have dropped that earlier than that, but another oil is going to catch a whole bunch of people. Sting sapping 2 on the upslope as well, and just huge gaps going to be created, especially now that Sting has a battery, which even though he is on that Humma, he should be able to pilot it pretty straightforwardly to
What
yeah.
happened
Hey,
there?
almost swerving all over the place, and I think he just lost control and maybe overcorrected or something like that. But we do have pickups getting cycled. Yun and BGM locked in an unfortunate fight. Power 8 going to blow up. And big grouping of players. Yun with that oil. I would have really preferred to see that through the doorway section, like maybe here, maybe right outside the doorway, somewhere that he can still squeeze through when he's coming by on his side because he already knows it's laid. BGM going for a ricochet rocket. Don't think that connected with anybody. BGM and Makakowski beautifully laid oil. A little bit unorthodox, but it definitely caught BGM off guard. Meanwhile, towards the front, we got G-Force versus Laggy Rock. Now, G-Force does lay an oil, and he actually lands on all fours after the bomb, so pretty good on him. I'd really like to see who's running into this oil. It doesn't seem to be super impactful, maybe losing a couple meters. The bomb definitely going to be dealing more damage, and the battle for 5th is on. The zap by BGM, a Rex zap, no
Oh,
less.
both.
Um,
Oh my god, Nick.
and
Oh my.
Makakowski with a very targeted oil onto Nick, but it hits Maddie as well, I think, and they've actually got more oils that they're going to be running into. So we do go ahead and flip over towards the front here as Sting running side by side with G-Force, and he eventually does find there's a bit of an immunity timer on that zap after you get zapped. So Sting running right next to G-Force, running out the immunity timer, and then zapping him. I think Makakowski must have used a battery there on that zap to cancel it out. Laggy Rock with a good lead out in first. So flipping further backfield, nothing too major.
This map, this race feels so chaotic. So much is happening here. It's just insane.
Definitely. Yeah, it's hard to keep track of everything that's going on. Right now on our screen, we've got Keela versus Nick, and Keela does zap him, but Nick uses a battery on that. But Keela has the Burdang special. I don't, not necessarily Burdang special. I'll stop saying that. But it's the battery and the zap back to back, and somehow Keela Baris gets caught by Ama's zap while Keela Baris is in a battery. Maybe just lost some control in the stairwell there. But yeah, as the race finishes up, Laggy Rock, Stingox in second, Power 8 in third. We could go back just a little bit. Yeah, we got G-Force, not going to be able to close the gap on Power 8. And Makakowski 150 meters back in fifth. And yeah, pretty clean stuff. Let's go ahead and keep flipping further back, see if we got any races on our hands, because there's nothing too close to be watching here. Now, here's a battle. Ama versus Nick. Ama, at the tail end of his battery, he still gets caught by Nick's zap, and he zaps Air2 as well. They dodge the oil and water balloons, but Nick gets hit across the finish line,
Oh
and
my.
Yun with an upsetting finish as Maddie's going to try to steal it, but he can't, and it will be Maddie finishing out in 12th.
This
The Berdangaranga.
this race was so chaotic. I mean, if any track is tilting, I think this is map like the tilt map, literally. I mean,
Oh,
so many crazy oils. Come on.
yeah. If you played on Quake Reverse, then you would have that feeling times 10. This was the Havoc Light version of Quake. So if you thought that was bad, it can get worse. And in fact, there are some worse tracks up ahead. We've got Kadish Sprint Reverse coming up very soon, and that's going to be some Mahim as well. But you can see that oil laid by Laggy Rock basically locked down the first for him. And unlike Yun, he didn't make any mistakes after he got that lead, so he just held on to it the whole time.
Yeah, that oil early on was just so impactful, so impressive. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
This was just okay, guys. Have fun there. I'm just going. Bye bye.
See ya.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, it's still possible to get like hit by oils and stuff, especially zaps in the oncoming. So it wasn't locked down entirely, but Laggy Rock found a way to basically keep it locked down.
Yeah. Oh.
Um, yeah,
Uh,
that's kind of why I was surprised to see that initial oil before the bathroom, because it's like there are so many good oil spots here. You're kind of just throwing that away. So it
yeah.
pickups pickups get a bad rap sometimes, but the truth is, especially with stuff like oils, uh, little details can change so much into the outcome of the game. Like if Laggy Rock hadn't laid that oil at that specific spot, he would have had a lot more trouble than he had in that
Okay.
race.
Just to say, we are ready, Jerome. We can start the next
Yes, we are. We
track,
are.
and the field track is going to be Airport 1 with 6
Okay.
laps. So after that race, we're gonna show the tables. I can just tell you a sneak peek that our top 3 is so far with Lagirok in the lead, second place Ama, and third one is Powerade so far.
Okay. The support for Latino America coming in hot in the chat. Love to see Revolt America's community coming in to support Revolt United and their team, so to speak. But we are here on the airport, and some people are going to be having some departures away from those top positions, and maybe some other people will have some arrivals into those top positions. So we'll see how it goes. Stingox having some classic Humma issues on the exit of um, those ramps. And I don't. That looked like it was an oncoming traffic shot, but I don't think it was. Um, we do have well, we saw an oil come out. Now they're not going to be sliding on that oil necessarily, but we'll definitely lose some time. Sting taking it super wide on the battery, but getting tangled up with BGM, and BGM shoots a point blank rocket, which somehow does not implicate himself in the process. Now we do have a fake that manages to hit 2 people. Keela manages to escape with it though. Unfortunate for Makakowski, Laggy Rock out in 8th, who has been both of our
Oh.
drivers to watch. Now, it did look good. That Shockwave did look good, but keep in mind he used it in a straightaway, and a lot of the times it's so easy to just land back on all 4 wheels in a straightaway. So let's up the complexity there, Laggy Rock. A great pickup the Shockwave is, but then again, that spot has a lot of straightaways, so might have just wanted to cycle it. Anyways, we've got Maddie trying to find some positions after a very rough quake. Again, oh my god, that bounce on the Shockwave. Usually, I feel like if you shoot it at a wall like that, it's just going to dissipate. But in that instance, it rebounded off the wall and hit Laggy Rock behind him. So that was absolutely ridiculous. We got Powerade actually leading this race. This is really the first time that we've seen who's leading the race, because this battle for like 3rd place has been so locked and loaded. Stingok's going to be shooting a rocket. He gets responded to with the Shockwave. Makakowski's trying to find some position. Sting with another battery. And it is just left, right, and center here in the airport as Sting is going to be trying to hunt down Maddie.
I have to
Doesn't seem
say,
to have a pickup.
I have to
Yes,
say, this track feels so dynamic, so fast. I mean, really nice.
it really is. And speak of the devil, we've got a lot more pickups coming out, a lot more and musical chairs with these positions, 6 all the way through a 9th or 10th, being swapped pretty freely. Nick just got a huge care package, was able to pass up 3 people. Sting going to be cycling that zap to hope for more. BGM cycling a zap of his own. That RVRC 20 by Ewan out in 3rd, but he wrecks. And so he's just going to be hoping to hold on to 3rd at this point. I'd really love to see how far Powerade is out in the lead right now. Makakowski, strange routing on the inside. He does find a pickup, though. Maybe that was what he was hoping for. And he gets the battery, but he runs straight into a fake. And yeah, that is a fake. He gets the Verdangaranga, the battery into Zap. Powerade 50 meters out in the lead, dodges some oils, looking like he's good to go. But Yun has had a similar situation, and it has faded away from him before. So we'll have to stay locked in. Now, keep in mind, there are 6 laps on this track, and we are beginning lap 6. So if they are going to be making moves, now is the time to do it. Makakowski continuing to get pushed around. by some other racers on the field. He dodges that oil, which a G-Force runs into, and he's got a pickup. We're not sure what it is right now. Sting trying to catch G-Force with a zap of his own, not able to do so. And Makakowski getting hit by something. It looked like it was at the U-turn. Oncoming area. Oh my, look at this. Absolute mess. G-Force running two people into the wall with that shockwave. The oil coming out, and it is colliding with a number of racers who are slip sliding like a summer, the summer toys. But ultimately, it is just going to be a straightaway. The shockwave catches one. Keela gets taken out, knocked down one position thanks to that shockwave. But Makakowski finishes out in 7th. A slip inside, that's the word I was looking for. Anyways, we got Powerade in 1st, BGM in 2nd, Ewan in 3rd. Ewan recovering greatly from that initial upset. I mean, the easiest way to describe it. And look at that beginning sequence on Airport. We had lots and lots of mayhem.
But that was so far actually my favorite race. I know we only had like 3 of them, but it was so nice to watch. Really dynamic, really fast. A lot of great pickups, a lot of great moments in that race. But I have to say, somehow Laggy Rock, I feel like Laggy Rock is just feeling those pickups. He's just feeling so good in those races. I feel like he's fighting today for the win. We're gonna show the table after the replays. Just gonna check if it is being updated. It is being updated. So we'll see who will come on top, and obviously Powerade with extremely strong performance. I feel like Powerade is just growing in the league so far. Like he started slow, but now really strong showing from him.
I totally agree. I totally agree with you. Um, uh, that's kind of been the storyline for Power 8 so far, as someone who was in a lower division got upgraded to Division 1 this time around in Season 2. So it's definitely cool to see Power 8 who proving himself here in Division 1 and doing so pretty convincingly. Ama saying we will get 12 different winners with this pace, and I guess he could be right. I think we have 12 people in here, but we've had different winners so far, like every single time.
Okay, so real
So
quickly, we're just gonna have a brief look at the table, and we're gonna move to the race. So far, Powerade in the lead, Laggy Rock with the second place, Ama with the third. I was kind of feeling Ama as well. G-Force on the 8th place so far. Sting in the 6th place. Where's my other pick? I was picking who? Laggy Rock, G-Force,
Kilobaris
Kilabars, and yeah, Kilabars at the 9th place. So maybe G-Force and
ninth.
Kilabars
Mm.
gonna upgrade as well. Erzo in the last place with Nick in the 11th. So let's jump to the next race and
And
then yes.
yeah, we can go ahead and hop in. I will say my third pick, I switched from Frost to Tom Dom, and Tom Dom's not here either. So I was talking a lot about Sting. Maybe I could, after the fact, get my third choice changed to Sting because I was talking about him a good amount before we hopped in. But I
It's
hate
fair
to see
enough.
two of my choices not here. And Kiki's not here either. I would love to put my bet on Kiki as well, my imaginary bet. But we are here in Kadish Sprint, and this is a track that I alluded to just a little while ago when we were talking about Quake. This is an absolutely insane track, and we already see people really putting that on display straight away as we hop in. Now, keep in mind, this is the reverse version. This is the only reverse version of a track that we have today. But it is reverse Kaddish sprint, and it's going to throw a lot of people off. As you can feel at home, even this track is very bumpy. You can plainly see it. It's the perfect part to say it because that was one of the bumpiest parts. Makakowski and BGM dueling it out. Chile versus Chile here in the first, in the battle for first. And as you can tell, it's just a very windy, often very narrow track. Very technical track as well. And spots like this are going to be great oil locations because you could easily fall off the track, and that takes you a while to get back on the track if you fall off. So definitely would like to see some oils or some fakes in locations like that at this in the next lap. Laggy Rock with a bit of a stop zap just to get everyone who was directly behind him all corralled together. Some big technical parts right at the beginning of the track. Makakowski seems to have gotten a star, and he uses it to break away, but he can't find first. I think BGM was about 20 or 30 meters out in the 20 meters out in the lead over Makakowski. And BGM Yun and Makakowski, three Chileans, are the current podium in the Cadiz Sprint Reverse, which is interesting to see. Now Nick is trying to change that, and he will collide with the water balloon to Yun's face. And Yun gets a bomb in response, so going to be a super hostile situation for Yun. Uh, he's going to try to connect with that shockwave, but he won't. And in fact, he can't even get a favorable bounce for himself there on the bomb. So really a series of unfortunate events for Yun. Now, as we flip forward backfield, we can see Ertzu lost a number of positions. Laggy Rock is struggling, and there's still no damn oil at these spots. The oil needs to be laid down, but it looks like we're in a serious oil deficit right now because I haven't seen any oils laid at all, really. Kilobaris is in 12th, G-Force in 11th, Sting in 10th. These are not the positions that I expected for these racers, and yet they have been finding themselves in those positions quite often. Racers like Maddie able to put a beating on them, and Powerade has fallen back one position. Ertzu trying to rise up the ranks here in the Cougar on Cadiz Sprint of all places. Yun and Nick continue to fight it out for third, whereas Makakowski and BGM continue to brawl for first. A shockwave off the cliff for Yun connecting with Nick, and that's going to be huge for Yun. And I'm glad that we can watch this battle for first. BGM has to repo, but he's got a battery, and they're going to be continuing to duke it out as they've got pickups. Makakowski 2 early on the turn, and that battle is over before it started. Makakowski back to trying to chase down the BGM here on the final lap. We got Laggy Rock doing a ton of recovery work. I think he was in like he was definitely a ways back last time we checked on at least 8th. Right now he's in 5th, trying to find 4th. Another star. Yun is going to have to do a full repo there in 3rd. So there is forward momentum for those 4th, 5th place positions to try to catch him. And look at this. BGM seems to have had a minor wreck. And Makakowski going to continue to try to chase down. I think that might have been an oil for a cycle. No. Oh
Makakowski
my
trying
goodness.
to steal that first place really close on BGM.
Oh, BGM has
Oh.
wrecked, and the shockwave not going to be effective. BGMs won't be either, though, and they're both going to cycle for pickups.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Oh, what happened there?
wow. And BGM, he doesn't get caught by the missile. Time is out for Makakowski. Maybe a shockwave? No, it is going to be BGM taking first place over Makakowski. Yun in a strong and solid third. Nick fourth, Sting fifth. Battle has finally broken out now that we've made our way to 6th, 7th. It is Maddie versus Ertzu. Ertzu in that Cougar. He loves that Cougar, and he has not been able to make it work. Not too surprising, though, especially in picks on races. That Cougar going to be so disadvantaged, but you got to do what you got to do. Laggy Rock in 8th, trying to find some last-minute positions, but instead he's going to be taking a dip. And now the star has been popped, and G-Force going to try to pass, but he gets zapped instead and loses 2 positions. Ama over Kilobaris on the inside there to find 10th. Oh, wow, what a finish that was. Kind of came out of nowhere. We thought it was all over, and uh,
Yeah.
5 different positions getting changed up there at the end.
But I have to say one thing, that the top 3 is all Chile, right?
It is. It was, yeah.
So we've
Surprising.
finally got it. BGM, Makakowski, and Ian, the top 3. Nick couldn't break that top 3, so I guess
He tried.
he tried, but I guess there's a lot of hype on the chat right now with the top 3 Chile happening.
Definitely. Definitely.
But
Shout out to chat.
this race felt, as you've mentioned, really technical. A lot of cliffs, a lot of really hard turns, and it felt like the moment Makakowski BGM went for the top 2 places, they were pretty safe. There was only battle between them, and there was a huge gap with the rest of the pack. So it was pretty safe for them. The rest of the group kind of struggled. We've seen some nice recoveries, like you've mentioned with, I think, Laggy Rock. kind of stepped up and finished in the middle of the pack, and Nick with the fourth place as well.
Yeah, he kind of got tossed there at the end as we could see him getting knocked into that pool of water that was just like one turn away from the end. So he lost a couple positions there at the very end, but he put in so much recovery work just to be getting into that position. So it is what it is. I know Laggy Rock wanted more, and if we see the standings, I think we might see Laggy Rock falling down a little bit. Kind of surprising. We both picked them for our predictions, so
Yeah,
I think we could definitely see him bounce back, but
yeah. Okay, I think we're gonna show the table after the next race, so we can go
okay.
with the Spa Vault 2. Also,
Ooh, okay.
as a sneak peek, we've got actually now a change in elite. Now it's BGM. In the
Okay.
first place,
Okay.
Powerade second, and Jan third. And Makakowski is also close, so Makakowski is in the fifth. We could potentially
Okay.
today have a top three Chile finishes in the session.
Yeah,
There's
and keep in mind, Yun fifth overall, Makakasi seventh overall, BGM ninth overall. So these aren't the top positions. They aren't the worst either. We are headed in, but we got a little bit of breathing room here, at least for a couple seconds before the action really starts, which will be right after they go through this doorway into this corridor. Do we have any zaps? Do we have any oils? A little bit of both. Some explosions, some ball bearings, an oil, a star. It's all coming out straight away. G-Force looked like he grabbed that star, and he's going to be breaking away towards the hot tubs. Maddie going to explode. Ooh, somebody getting knocked into the water as well. Maddie still in third, despite some unfavorable pickups to start us off. The 1-2 turn there, catching a whole lot of people, especially with that zap. As for the people who escaped, not going to be Ama. Very close to being so, though. We've got G-Force, Yun, Maddie. Yun and Maddie both failing that drop down, which, in my opinion, is not one of the more difficult parts of the track. You kind of have two options, and you can take it a little bit risky, but either way, it's not super risky. Maddie getting caught off more as two cars try to fit that through that narrow doorway, and Yun saying there's only room for one of us. And so right now we got the camera on fifth place. We got Laggy Rock trying to chase down a number of people, and both of them taking it wide. I think that was to avoid any oils, but the thing was there were no oils, and so Laggy Rock gets to skate on by. Now that rocket by Nick shot pretty close to point blank, but is going to be perfection.
what was that trick from Jan?
Some more circus tricks out of Yun, and they have not been doing him any favors. He's just been struggling in that drop down section, which is not what I'm expecting. He's still in third. Maddie's in second. Sting, I think, finally out in first place.
Yes, Sting going strong. G-Force just not letting go of that first place. Oh, that oil. That was brutal.
I think that oil that we see right there is the main reason why most of the drivers prefer, or not most of them, but we saw some drivers preferring to take it on the outside because they didn't lose that much time and they don't have to worry about the oil. Now, I got to warn you, we might see some shenanigans here on the last lap, and I say that because we are approaching that. We're halfway through the track right now. Yun not going to get shot by Ama. It was pretty close, but we do have some shenanigans at the very finish line. We might see some people drive up on the leaves to try to get closer to the finish line. It's a huge risk, but we saw in Division 2 somebody beat another driver because of going for it. So I think we'll see that replicated again here. Sting has fallen out of first place, and he's being accosted by Maddie, but he's got a battery. G-Force, 100-meter lead, and I have a feeling he's not going to be losing that. Sting, great execution there, even with the battery. He manages to make it happen, even with the Hummer.
Oh, someone did grab the star. It was Jan, actually. And another star.
Oh, 3 stars so far. Interesting.
I think it was G-Force
And
because he just increased his lead.
Ewan trying to go on the outside, but he still gets zapped by Sting. And Ewan can't manage to nose his way into the podium there yet. He's going to keep trying to do it. And despite those two pretty big errors that he had on the drop down, He's still almost finding podium. And we've got a 4th star on the play. What is going on here? Laggy Rock is struggling. He's out in 11th, and he's going to be dropping down even further. G4 almost lapping people here. Yun versus Maddie. Maddie with the zap, but it looks like Yun still managed to get by him.
Is that shortcut actually worth it that we saw?
I don't know. I'm not entirely sure.
Sting, the rocket misses.
Okay. So, are we going to see the shenanigans by Sting? I don't think it'll get him second. He might go for it, though. Nope, not going to attempt it. Maddie might, though. Maddie does attempt it, and he finds it, but not going to be able to get him there. Powerade looked like he was going straight to that oil. Neither one of them going to try it. Makakowski. Whoa, whoa, whoa. But Nick gets caught as well in that oil. So 1 for 1. They just go ahead and finish it out. BGM in the oil as well. Okay, and just going to be finishing up pretty straightforward here. Keela, Laggy Rock. Laggy tries to find it. He can't, though. Ertzu going to be finishing up in last, and he takes the alternate route for a star. I think that star has already been claimed. And does he go for the shortcut jump just for the style points? Indeed, he does. Look at that tumble. Boom. Perfection out of Ertzu.
That was a strong race from D4 Jan with the strong showing as well. Second place, Sting third. Where's Makakowski? 7. Where's BGM? 9th. So, and Powerade. Where's Powerade? Powerade in the 5th. So we might see some changes in the table right here. We're gonna check the tables before the next race, but this one, some chaos.
I headed into the final lap. We talked about Yun trying to get his way into the podium, and he ended up in second by the final lap. So, or by finishing, by the time that he finished. So, huge props to Yun for managing to find not just third, but also second by the end of that. Really strong showing out of him. And like you said, G-Force just broke away, was untouchable.
Yes. And let me real quickly just update the tables, and we're gonna have a sneak peek to what is happening in this session so far. Let's update real quickly, because we've got some changes for the short. That's gonna, yeah, it's correct one. And real quick sneak peek before we start the race. Jan in the lead, BGM second, Powerade third, Sting fourth, Laggy Rock fifth, Makakowski sixth. There's still a huge possibility and potential for actually top 3 Chile players.
Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah, so we see Yun. This would be the second session that he's won if he's able to find a win. He was our leader out in the early weeks. Has been struggling a bit, but finding his footing here in the featured session. BGM doing great as well, and Powerade, of course.
Yes.
As for people struggling, we've got Keela Baris, who was your pick. I went with Ertzu, and they have both been trying to find their footing. Again, the Cougar pick out of Ertzu is staying strong to it, but it's just not paying off for him.
Okay, we're
Maddie,
ready.
on the other hand,
yeah,
we can go ahead and hop in for sure. But in the meantime, I will say Maddie with that S13 all tune, and he has been able to make it work to a much greater effect.
Okay, we'll see if there is going to be some changes. I mean, the gap is not that big. Makakowski, he needs, if he actually won now with 25 points, I mean, that would be so huge for him to actually establish the top 3 Chile players. But the race is there, so let's go.
Okay, Meltdown. This is definitely an oddball track that has kind of been a mainstay. Yeah, that's Zap already going to be starting some strong divisions. And when you're in first place and you pick up a pickup, that's your highest chance to get a Zap. So when we see the first person in the lobby to get a pickup, it's often going to be a Zap. 2 oils already through that super narrow section. And so that's going to just continue to create huge gaps. Big fight for third place.
That's actually so bad.
Is actually in second. Makakowski moves into third, but Star at a very inopportune position. Yun almost falls off. Powerade has to do a full repo. BGM in no man's land. Ertzu, ooh, in the pipeline for a pickup.
BGM situation that was so funny, cars just up in BGM, just flying randomly somewhere.
Yeah.
That was, I don't know.
Classic Revolt. So out in first, we actually have Ama, who's leading right now. It's not by anything too major, but it is 40 meters. Sting still making a strong statement. Ewan and Makakowski, the two that are of our Chileans in third, fourth, and that oil is going to continue to be a spot. Um, Sorry, that very tight area is going to be a great oil spot. So we're expecting to see more oils. There are 6 laps on this track. Makakowski gets 2 zaps back to back, but I don't think he was able to connect with Ewan for either of them. And Yun is going to be going off to the side for some pickups. Ama seems to have wrecked. Sting has got a battery. We couldn't quite see if he spun out by the end of it, but I think he might have held on to it. No, he didn't, and he got hit back quite drastically. The rockets are being shot all over the place. I think 6 rockets shot out right there. Sting with a very nice foresight to expect an oil right there, and that is a killer oil. Another oil gets placed on it, but he runs into a fake another oil as well. And there is so much craziness going on. Makakowski tries to avoid an oil, ends up running off the track. Kila Baris does too. He had a great position, but I think he lost a number of positions there, and Yun does as well. G-Force trying to find some kind of footing, and this is absolute havoc. We are flipping and that's not to say anything to you, Jeromu, but it's there's so many different fights going on at the same time that I don't blame you at all. We got Makakowski and G-Force here for third. They are starting their final lap, and Makakowski is doing so with a bomb. So he's just going to slow down, and he still gets flipped over. So G-Force breaking away, and he is caught up with, I think that was Yun. So Sting versus Ama here on the final lap. They are going to try to duke it out, but again, batter or bomb galore here. And Sting, very favorable jump. It's going to be just fine. Ama Sting for second. Yun. Oh, and the Rockets too. He's going to YOLO that, but he's just going to shoot Yun forward. And not much to say here for our ending. We got BGM in ninth.
Laggy Rock at the end, actually. With the last place, that's.
Yeah, Laggy Rock. We can't understate it enough. This guy won the Classics pickup on session, so we're definitely hoping for more out of him. And he was showing us more there at the beginning tracks, but the last two, Spavel and Meltdown, have not been doing him too many favors. And yeah, we had that ball bearing. It just fits so perfectly right in between the box and the pipe. And add an oil in there too, and it's basically impossible to get through.
Yes, and Ama with the win, Sting second, Jan with the third. It seems Jan is actually, I think, establishing him really high in the table. Yes, he's leading
I wouldn't
so
be
far.
surprised.
So the first place is great for him. Ama was close, so but that win is not getting him into the top 3. So we'll see after the next race what will happen. This race was meltdown. We've got still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 races ahead of us. The next one is going to be Toy World Aquatica Redux with 5 laps. So after that, that track is going to be the middle, I think. So we're gonna check the tables so far. This is going to be our 7th race. So we are ready. I hope the players are ready as well. As a sneak peek, we've got still Jan in the lead, Sting with the second, Ama with the third, Powerade still hanging on the fourth place, BGM in the fifth, G-Force sixth place. And the gap between G-Force, that is a sixth place, and the first Jan is 23 points. So the gap is getting a little bit bigger.
Yeah, and I talked about how there were some oddball tracks today. I would say the section that we're basically in right now is the oddball section. from Kadish Sprint Reverse, Spa Vault 2, pretty normal. But then we got Meltdown, Toy World Aquatica Redux, and then we got Spaceship as well. So just a whole lot of strange tracks. We are getting straight into it, and you can see starting off straight away. Just a,
Oh, the
oh,
stream.
I'm getting some lag. Okay, okay, okay.
Let me refresh it real fast. Just reload. It is gonna reload it. All good, all good.
Yeah, and so there's a ton of wall riding on this track, and oils are going to affect that greatly. Um, Also, things like shockwaves going to be guaranteed to hit a lot of people, as we see right there. And again, especially through this octopus area, it can be super tricky to stay on the track after you get over that wall ride section. BGM braking perfectly before an oil and trying to pass on that bomb as well. He does get kind of turned around as a result, but he manages to scoot on into third. Alma and Nakakowski chasing him down fourth, fifth.
And finally, I think we've got Kilabaris in the lead, so maybe he's gonna bounce back.
Okay.
Still a lot of races ahead of us. I think that we have 7. So still a lot of place and room to improve your standings in the table.
Indeed. We see Air Tsunama, fourth, fifth. And Kippy saying great races so far. I would be inclined to agree. Some very hot races so far. And the 1-2 punch for BGM that he's got the fake and the oil right there. Ama going to pop a battery, pass up to Laggy Rock and BGM. Laggy Rock going to take it back for the moment. Beautiful oil, and Laggy Rock caught. Can't even make his way over the ramp. BGM moving into third. He's going to try to stop to pass on the bomb, but Laggy Rock is actually just going to stop wall riding, and BGM tries to pop the zap to catch him and be able to pass it on, but he can't catch him. And so Laggy Rock is going to get a huge advantage out of some risky gameplay from BGM. Ama, in the meantime, can't find the execution he was hoping for across the octopus, and Laggy Rock dodging yet another zap. Ama going to connect with BGM on that to at least have a little bit of a bounce back. BGM trying to ricochet some of those water balloons. It's not going to work. So he's obviously looking for new pickups. G-Force has not had the best race. Power 8 neither. They're sharing 7th, 8th. Air 2 shooting them with rockets. Sting also has been struggling in this race. Passes up 3, though, in one fatal swoop. And I think we saw Yun there near the backfield as well, so that's going to be rough for Yun. But in the meantime, it is Kilobaris, Laggy Rock, and Ama in our front 3. 50 meters between Ama and BGM, so that is quite an isolated podium.
And I think if we're going to finish like this with Jan in the last place, then the standing is gonna get really interesting because we've got Lagrock in the top 3, Ama really high as well, BGM in the 4th place. So this can get really tight there. Kilabaris in the 2nd place. Or first, oh, yeah. I'm sorry, in the 1st place. So really nice.
Right. And oh wow, that was a quick track. I was not expecting it to be over that quickly, but yeah, that was the last lap. Only 5 laps here in Toy World Aquatica. And it doesn't seem like there's too much action headed into the octopus. G-Force gets hit off the track and looked like he repoed backwards, so I don't know about that. A big oil catching Powerade and Yun, I think. And Nick moves up to G-Force saying, WTF, dude. And I think it was, G-Force got totally screwed. And he hasn't passed the finish line yet. He got repoed in the wrong place. That's what I was alluding to, was I was pretty sure he got repoed in the wrong place. So he's got to go, I don't know, he might have to reset himself.
Wait, what's happening here?
So G-Force got knocked off the track, and I think when he repoed, the track, since he had fallen off, it repoed him at like a weird spot. I don't even think he can finish the track right now. He's definitely upset in the chat. It's not not. I mean, it's understandable, but let's keep it moving here. And it is G-Force finishing it up.
Okay.
He repoed like 50 meters ahead of where he was supposed to be. Yeah, that was. Yeah. Yeah, shout out chat.
So okay, we've got Kilabarus, Lagirok, and BGM in a top three. This is going to actually mess the tables a little bit. I'm waiting for the update for the tables. I'm really sorry for the GeForce for this race, but I guess like as they call it, shit happens. What can you
It's
do?
Revolt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
unfortunately. So I get the feeling. Okay, the tables are being updated. We're gonna see the shuffling real soon. Yeah, the shuffle. Oh my god, it is so tight. Trust me, I gonna update.
Okay,
It's so
okay.
tight. It's amazing. This is just amazing.
So, uh, it, definitely good to hear that. I oh yeah. So basically, something I wanted to hide. Oh, here it was. There it was. But oh, okay. Yes. Interesting.
Look at top four. I mean, even Powerade in the fifth. I mean, come on. This is so tight. 99, 95, 95, 93, 87, 83, 79. This is so tight.
Yeah. So we see Yoon and BGM staying strong. Makakowski, the other Chilean, has fallen down a little bit. Laggy Rock has been trying to find a couple positions, and he's definitely poised to be doing so. Makakowski only 4 points behind him. GeForce and Kila, uh, that part of the field somewhat struggling here, but we are about what, like halfway through our tracks, so still plenty of room. And that's actually something I wanted to highlight here was if you're an IO racer, you might not realize how much of an impact having
Wait,
a
wait,
different
wait.
scoring system has.
Something is
Yes.
happening on the chat there in the lobby. I don't
Okay.
know if the players are racing or are they trolling. I mean, the next race is supposed to be spaceship.
Yeah.
Are we continuing with everything? I hope we are, and I think we are. We are ready as observers. I'm kind of watching what is happening on the chat, and I'm a little bit confused right now. Okay, we are starting. So yeah, we have another race, but yeah, I feel like right now is anyone's games basically.
Oh, it definitely is, and that in a normal race, if you get first place, you get 16 points. Second place, 15 points. So there's only 1 point gap each way. But with the way the MotoGP point scoring system is, and we've got a little bit before we start. We do have the those initial turds. It's going to be pretty smooth sailing through here until things start getting heated up. Yeah, the crossroads. So I do kind of have to stop what I was saying there. But just keep in mind, if you get a first place with MotoGP points, it's a huge point infusion, and it can really flip up the entire field. So just something to keep in mind. I've said it a lot, but it's important to keep saying it. Now we do have one racer going for the star. I think that was Stingox. We didn't have too many crazy oils, especially on that ramp. There is a potential for a lot of oil. Now, as you can tell, we have two alternative pathways that you can take. One goes straight and one veers off to the right, and they do have two crossroads with each other right there. We see Power 8 taking a kind of half and half angle, and he's kind of going crazy with it, actually. And it does increase your chance to be able to pick up pickups, which is good. We do have Nick out in the lead, but that's not going to last for very long as he tipped the railing, had a bomb on his head, and got zapped by Power 8. So he's going to be falling way back in the blink of an eye. Laggy Rock lands with a beautiful backflip and acts like nothing happened at all. Power 8 still holding on to that first. And this is a wonderful Cougar track, I will tell you, Tara. This is a great Cougar track, very top speed friendly track. So we could see Ertzu maybe deal a little bit of damage here. Of course, it's not guaranteed, but this would be a good spot to do it. And another thing that we haven't talked too much about is how impactful oils in dark spaces are on a track like Spaceship. We see it on the museums as well. It's so effective to lay an oil in a spot that's pitch black because no one can see where it is, and it really catches a lot of racers off guard. You can try to not drive in the middle, but maybe that's a little bit off center. It's hard to prepare for. Ewan and Ertzu fighting it out. Yun cycling for some pickups. He's out in second place, maybe third. We'll see once the alternative routes get shaped up. And it is okay. No, it is second place. That bomb about to explode. We see Laggy Rock passing him up. And Ertzu zapping him as well. Okay, Ertzu in third, trying to chase down Laggy Rock. No, he's going to go for that alternate path. Start cycling for some more pickups. This track should have an alien skeleton type deal. I would love that. This track is really good for its atmosphere, though. I will say, especially if you've got the in-game music on. It's got a cool little track. But we are here on lap 5 of 6. We see BGM in 10th. We see Sting in 9th. A lot of people that we would expect to see near the front. And Nick, who started out the track in first, is now in last. My, how things can change. Powerade has managed to stack up a 100-meter lead for himself headed into the final lap. Yun in a decent 5th place. Ama in 4th. And we see the Ertzu Cougar with a podium spot, maybe even 2nd. I think it's going to be 3rd, though.
I have a
Yeah,
feeling
so
that
it is.
today's session is going to be so close. Powerade with a win. This will arguably put him in a lead so far.
Okay. A Yun in 6. Big fight for 8-ish. Kila backwards battery.
Oh, that was beautiful.
My, he's spinning all over the place. He does lock it down though.
That
and
was
G-Force seems
beautiful.
To have
I think that was the move of the race from the Kilabaras. That was insane.
That little one, yeah, that was cool for sure. I was actually wondering. I was like, he's kind of veering off. So is he going to be able to finish? But he just flips it around, no problem. So, and we actually had Makakowski finishing next to last in that track. Just a quick little note as well.
Okay, but I think we're gonna show the tables after the next race. So we're just gonna see the replays and wait for the players to start another race. I'm gonna have a sneak peek real quick, but I'm waiting for the replay of Kilabarus actually finishing. That was so beautiful.
Let's see it.
Let's just wait for it. Where is that replay
Here it
now?
is.
And the camera as well. Oh my god, dude. That was so beautiful.
You're right. So honestly, beautiful. That was
That was insane.
It wasn't just like a random turn either. Like he kind of needed to do that to be able to finish it.
Literally Fast and Furious, moment. He's like, he's
like
now,
the stunt driver where they get like the stunt driver for a commercial or something.
Yeah, Kilabaras can now say that he's the part of the family. Of Vin Diesel family,
Right.
God damn, that move, that was impressive. That was sick move by him.
We got Electro Galvanico as well. Shout out to you. How you doing? But we are, I guess, like we said, about halfway through our tracks, past the halfway point at this point. We got 6 tracks left: Petrovolt, Bunker, Venice, Game Room 2 Reverse, Santorini, Mysterious Toy Vault Factory 1, and that will finish us up.
Okay.
We did have 2 reverse tracks.
Yeah, we're starting with the next track. I will really fast go to have a sneak peek. Who is in a lead? As I said, Powerade in a lead, but a difference between him and 6 is only 12 points. This is really tight.
Petrovolt. Can't say enough good things about Petrovolt, and it is going to be the make or break point for a number of these racers trying to make an impact here on this featured session. We did have an oil in the car wash section. I don't know if that caught anyone. It was kind of near the back. G-Force manages to pass on the bomb. And now I want to see who can land the shortcut. This shorcut's so impactful. Nick destroys it. G-Force not as good, but he gets the bounce. And so as to not collide, we saw Makakowski nailing that as well. Kila sending Sting splattering down the stairwell. He does manage to somewhat recover. Nick is trying to break away with the battery, but has not been able to break away as much as he wanted, I'm sure. G-Force is keeping him within arm's length. Maddie is going to send out a zap onto Powerade, and he's got 4 cars grouped up behind him. They're going to fall into the bumpy section as well. Makakowski is succumbing to the pressure for the moment. BGM with the battery, but he's got some pickups that are aimed at him. One collided with him, but he's going to recover from that. 4th place for BGM. He's, whoa, okay, kind of some crazy routing out of him. And oh my, I'm almost colliding on the counters as well. A strange place to wreck for sure, but it almost happened. Ewan in 4th, Matty 5th, Makakowski holding on to 6th. He's got those rockets aimed at him. Nice one, Duromo. So I want to be able to see the shortcuts because it's so impactful, and he does put it on for us. Ewan and Makakowski. Ama fails it. He's going to fall back quite a bit. Laggy Rock, who is known to be a more of a consistency-based driver, he is taking that shortcut as well. And I'm not sure who we saw out in the lead. Was it still Nick? I think it was still Nick. And Oil on the ramp. You can see just how devastating that is. Maddie's race is basically over after 2 wheels going into that Oil and sending him flying off the ramp. Full repo into no man's land. And that is an Oil to remember. If you're watching this, keep in mind how important oil placement is.
That was actually so brutal what happened to Labaris.
Yeah. Okay, so big battle for the backfield, midfield area. Yun at the helm of it in 5th. Meanwhile, it is G-Force versus Nick for 1st, 2nd, so we definitely got to stay tuned into this, especially the perfect spot for it. G-Force almost losing control on the launch, but he manages to hold on, and they're bouncing back and forth. Yes, BGM nails it as well. G-Force zaps on the ramp, and that is going to be quite impactful for Nick as he rolls down the ramp and then is starting back at 0 kph going back up the ramp. So that's going to be 30 meters for Nick. Falling back from G-Force. I know he's got to be a bit tilted about that. He definitely wanted this dub. He got the early battery to try to break away, but G-Force has just been too good at reclaiming that space. BGM holding it steady, and in fact, he might be passing up Nick. Nick does have that Rex Zap locked and loaded, ready to go. Makakowski fighting in the mix. He gets oiled by BGM, a drive-by oil right on his back 2 wheels. Yun, and we see Chile grouped in a trio once again. That oil going to catch everybody in the backfield. Just going to be creating more divisions. We're here on lap 4 of 4, so we've got to see how first is doing G-Force 100 meters. Well, the radar does bug a bit through this section, so nothing too crazy, but BGM versus Nick. BGM wants that 2nd place, and Nick's going to have to put up a fight if he wants to hold on to it. 2 beautiful launches out of both of them on the shortcut. Nick further on the inside on the drop down, getting him some more time, and we'll see what pickup BGM has got. A battery from Nick, and if he can hold on to it, indeed he does. Slows down a little bit before the drop down. Beautiful execution.
Yeah, Nick is so good with the batteries, I have to say. Always keeping on the
Yes.
track, just getting the maximum value, absolutely, if he is not interrupted by anyone.
Ama versus Laggy Rock for 6. Goes for the ricochet rockets, and they do connect Laggy Rock. Fortunately, he has a sap. Stingox water balloons him down into the bumpy area. Kilabar is going to take all 4 wheels on the bumpy section and gets passed up by Air2, but he's on the inside, and it is going to be Air2 in 11th and Maddie in 12th.
My god, what a
Okay.
race. But G-Force kinda coming back with the revenge. He was really mad in the previous track, or it was the track before that, and now he's winning. Nick with a 2nd kind of hard and rush race for him. It was a good fight for the win. But man, I feel like those tables, they're getting crazier right now. We're gonna see them updated really soon. But any thoughts, Honk, about that race? Beautiful execution by Nick,
I
like that battery. That's beautiful.
Yes, and we saw Nick far downfield as far as the overall standings go. And when that happens, usually you're only getting about 5 or 6 points per race, maybe even less. And so with Nick to get 25 points, well, let's say 20 points, since he did finish up in 2nd by the end of it. But to get 20 points when he's usually getting 5 or 6, that's definitely going to boost him. Maybe find him some positions right away with one track. So that's definitely going to be good for his mental as we head into our last few tracks. We had the Chileans grouped up, like we mentioned. Not a whole lot to say, just a whole lot of action. We'll see how it impacts the standings.
I mean, the standings, I'm already looking at them crazy. It's just madness. Look at this madness. It's just pure madness.
Oh my god!
It's just
I don't know how
madness.
it always happens like this. It feels like in Division One we have had these types of battles back to back, just all the way through. In fact, the one time that it really didn't seem to happen was when Laggy Rock had that insane showing in the Classics Pros with Picks On. And this is a similar session to that, but we're seeing something very different here. Even Laggy Rock is, only 6 points behind Ama, and Ama is only 2 points behind first. So whole lot that can get switched up here. We could see G-Force easily winning the session. We could even see Makakowski winning the session.
Yeah, so we've got what, 5 races first. Let's jump with the bunker on the next one, but goddamn how tight it is. Jan Powerade, BGM, just 1 point difference. Ama, 118,
Mm-hmm.
Lagrock 112, Sting, GeForce. I mean, come on, like if now, for example, Nick wins a race or even Earth, they can just jump and fight for that win here.
Yeah, and we've kind of, as we're starting here on the bunker, we've kind of moved away from our wacky track power hour, and we're moving more into some more standard stuff. Now, the bunker not everyone's first pick, but tracks like the Venice, just Venice, Game Room 2, going to be commonly endurance tracks, and we're going to see very tight races on that. Speaking of tight races, though, we have seen it go all out on the picks here right before that brick wall that they have to jump through. And there have already been some large gaps forming. And oil, we're not sure who that was laid by, but it is going to catch a lot of people and lead them into the traffic cones.
Another
Air
star.
2.
Oh my god.
Air 2
That.
using the star. Everyone stops and he runs into Nick's fender to pass on that bomb. Beautiful execution by Air 2.
Oh my god, Nick. Are you serious?
That's how it goes for Nick. I'm telling you, I don't know why it happens so often, but Nick just really getting the short end of the stick all day today on this session. We do have Yun in second, Ertzu in a nice little fourth place position. I'm not sure who's leading overall right now, but Kilo with a bomb in sixth.
I think it's Sting in the first place, but I'm not sure.
Okay,
Jan was second for sure. Oh wait, Sting is third.
Ertzu holding on to that fourth. Sting
Ama
is in
is.
third. Ama is leading us.
And this would
And I
actually
think this.
put Ama in the lead if he finished ahead of Jan.
Okay. And this wouldn't be the first place for Ama, I don't believe either. Ama isn't always in our spotlight here in Division One, but he's forcing us. He's forcing his way into the spotlight here in the feature session because he has been running very hot. And Ertzu going to have to take the long way to avoid the fake pickup. Eesh, he's going to lose some time there. He gets the bomb passed to him by Nick on accident. Kind of a little bit of a revenge moment for Nick. More bombs. It has been bomb central here. Very fitting pickup for a track named The Bunker. And we're here starting, I think, starting lap 5.
Oh, what's
Are we?
happening?
I think we're at the.
Equality.
This is
Uh,
the low quality power hour of our stream. That power hour has come to an early end. We're here on lap 5 of 6. Another beautiful oil. That is the most ideal place that you can possibly lay an oil on the entire track. It really is a hassle to try to deal with, and it has a pretty much 100% success rate to hit everyone behind you. They just have to go full wheels in, or they have to take a very slow around the side alternative route. So very good strategic pickup use. There is another good spot. It's at the very last turn, the second to last turn of the track. where you've got all of those traffic cones and stuff piled on top of each other. That's another great spot for an oil. G-Force spotting the oil ahead of time. Powerade launching over the oil. He can't quite make it through, but that would have been in one of my top moments there if he had managed to do it. Now it is going to be Ama, Yun, Sting. A pretty uneventful finish for the three of them. Kind of just 1, 2, 3 in a row. We got all the way to fifth. It looks like just in a row here. Flipping back further, we got Powerade G-Force somewhat locked in. Not really. That race is over for them. Just a very straightforward ending here. Not much going on at all.
I have to say that might,
Ertu fell back to 10th.
yeah. I have to say maybe it will be kind of bad or something, but I feel the bunker is like this map is the most boring one. It feels like the weapons are just way too impactful.
Yes, yes, the weapons are definitely impactful on this track. One of the main reasons why it's around is because it has a great race line. It's a pretty good race line. But when the pickups, when you get an oil in specific spots, it really is. You just can't deal with it. You just have to do the best you can, and so that's how it played out basically. And we didn't really have too close of anything. On lap one, of course, we had the chaos bomb, just a wild mob of racers, but that cleared up, and yeah.
Yeah, also big shout out to Nick because he's not only racing but he's also updating the tables and I'm waiting for the results and for the first time no they are still going to be pretty close but not as close as they used to be, but as we can see anything can change after any race basically. I mean, come on, what was happening today so far? It just pure madness. So before we jump to the next track, let us fast have a glimpse on the standings. We are 4 tracks left, I believe. Or am I?
Yeah, we are running through the tracks. We got Venice, Game Room 2 Reverse, Santorini, and Mysterious Toy Vault Factory 1.
Yes. So
Okay, so landscape changing a little bit.
Ama in the lead, Jan second, Powerade third, Laggy Rock fourth, Stink. But I mean, look at the Powerade, Laggy Rock, Stink, PGM, and I think
Oh,
GeForce.
yeah.
Extremely tight there. Ama and Jan getting a little bit lead over the third place. But I think like still it's just anyone's games. I wouldn't even be surprised if suddenly Makakowski just came to double wins and he is like the top.
Just wins the session.
Yeah. I mean, come on,
Yeah,
this is so
I think
tight.
you're totally right. Like, I mean, Alma hasn't super been on our radar throughout this race. We've been focusing on the Chile trio. We've been focusing on Powerade. We've been talking about Laggy Rock and Sting, but we haven't talked a ton about Alma. And suddenly, he's just sitting there in first place. So it really shows the volatility of the session. We are here on Venezuela, and this is a very important starting sequence. Laggy Rock mostly get bailed out. At least he didn't get turned around 180. Shockwave going to be connecting with a lot of people there.
And BGM in the lead or not?
No, I think we got someone who broke away, but I would have loved to see that Shockwave stay for right there. The oil is used. So that diagonal doorway is actually a beautiful spot to hit people with rockets, water balloons, shockwaves. As long as you can make them miss the doorway, it's exactly what you want to do. But we do have that oil, and I think that's the best possible place you could lay an oil on the entire track. Now, that might be the second best spot, and it's going to throw off dramatically a number of the racers, Kilobars being one, Maddie being one as well. A couple of them wisening up and taking it on the outside, but even then, it's
Ooh,
tricky. Sting riding beautiful missile.
that was brutal missile.
Yeah, and we've seen a lot of those missiles been missing, but that was a perfect spot for Sting to use it, and it does collide. Now, again, I can't talk enough about how important that doorway is that we just saw. It might just look like it's just a blink of an eye and it's gone, but that section is so important, and we'll see if any pickups are stacked on it. And we've got another very important section right there. It's very easy to lose control. A bit of a different grounding or like flooring, and so it's easy to slide and that type of stuff. Laggy Rock trying to pass the bomb to Yun, but it's just not happening, and Laggy Rock gets destroyed by it. He has to flip his car as well, and he gets zapped. And Laggy Rock, that's just about enough to throw your keyboard out the window there. BGM getting definitely hit as well. Very impactful oil, making me kind of eat my words by saying that the diagonal door is the best place to lay the oil, because there are some ingenuitive spots that have really been incredibly effective besides that diagonal door.
And it feels like GeForce has a healthy lead over the Nick, and Nick as well over the third place. But we've seen already in the first track, I think, Jan or someone else losing a huge lead over 100 meters.
Oh yeah, we saw Yun lose like almost 150 meters, so it's definitely possible. But that was pretty uncharacteristic. Ama getting caught off guard by this weirdly placed oil. It just kind of the way they're taking the lines. It's, I guess, pretty easy to run into it. But if you take it on the inside, should be pretty easy to avoid that. Now that oil is definitely going to be adding to it. Unfortunately, it was the back of the field, so only Maddie going to be getting hit by that monstrosity. The 1-2 punch. Now BGM in the shockwave zap territory, and another oil laid here on this lap. So just going to be a lot of jumping through hoops, so to speak.
I feel like Matty is literally hitting every oil as it's supposed to be hit.
It was is GeForce leading right now. I think I think we can catch the front field a bit more now that we're here on lap 5 of 5. Yun, Makakowski in 4th, 5th. GeForce finishes it up over Nick. Nick getting another nice second place, and Ama finishes in 3rd, so definitely nothing to scoff at. Yun has lost 1 position at that slippery portion I was referring to earlier. Will he be able to find Makakowski? No, he won't, but he'll be able to hold on over Power 8. Those rockets not going to be effective. Sting in the backfield. Maddie has found a number of positions. Laggy Rock finding 2.
Oh.
I think, Shockwave. Oh, but Laggy Rock repo's so fast that he catches Kilobaris off, and actually Laggy Rock still finishes ahead. And I think BGM said that Yun is teleporting a bit or something like that, so might want to wait just a second for ping, but I know that the racers are ready to hop in too. I definitely want to get the points up again, because is that going to be GeForce leading now? He got 9 points over Ama right there. I think Ama finished 3rd and he finished 1st. So 16 points versus 25 points. It could be enough.
I think because the next race is going to be... Wait, we had Venice, right? So the next one we're gonna have
Yeah,
game room, and I think we're gonna show the tables after the game room. So like 2 tracks and the
good.
last track.
Good.
So we're gonna
Okay.
go with the game room now. I just gonna give you a sneak peek before we start of what we have in the tables. I just gonna see if they are updated. Yes, they are updated, and no, GeForce did not take a lead. He's now in the 4th
Okay.
place, and
Okay.
he's behind 20 points to the 1st place, and Ama is still in the lead.
Oh. Okay. Okay. So GeForce further back than I remembered,
So,
based on.
and the difference between 3rd and 7th place is only 8 points.
Wow. Okay. So anybody's race still. Even though a couple people have been getting hit hard by circumstances, sometimes out of their control, sometimes in their control, they have been working to keep it competitive. Nobody has really been completely falling out of this race. And so we'll see how it all culminates with our final tracks coming up. Again, we've got Game Room 2 Reverse. We've got Santorini. We got Mysterious Toy Boat Factory 1, but I've got to stop. We got a couple people going for the start. It looked like 4 people. And we've got that very narrow doorway. No pickups taken yet, so no big deals with that. Oh my. And it does look like there was a zap into an oil scenario here. Nick got cut off by that oil. His shockwave going to be very impactful onto Sting. Catches him and sends him to the chair. And it looked like an oil in the vent for Amma, very sus, and also going to surprise some people as they had head to a pretty difficult sequence after that. Double star. I don't know where exactly all these stars are coming out of, but well, we had the first star right away. Um, that you can pick up if you know where the spot is. Laggy Rock out in first, but he gets hit by BGM rockets. BGM doubling up on the rockets, and it does collide. Amma with a beautiful water balloon lineup is careful to change his car's trajectory before shooting that second water balloon to try to get it up on the ramp. I think that might have been the one that collided after all. So we got G-Force. That ball bearing going to be very effective, and while it does roll out, the oil is really going to be the star of the show here, and you can see just how effective that is, and the oil from the vent lines them up perfectly for the oil right there. Uh, and more oils. Oh my, this is not typically what I would think of as a track where oils are make or break. Keela with a rocket. I don't know if that was a ricochet or how that worked, but it did collide. And Makakowski having some trouble with the entryway. He loses so much time to set himself up to avoid the oil, and he still goes two wheels into that oil. Yun out in last place with a little bit. Yeah, if one thing goes wrong, and Yun has got a lot of work left to do. He's one of those top overall standings racers, but he could easily fall out of that with the 10th place here in game room 2. Heading back towards the front of the field, we've still got Laggy Rock and Ama duking it out on lap 4 of 6 is what we're about to head into. They've both got new pickups, and we'll see what they do with it. Ama had a beautiful lineup at the water balloons here last lap, and he
Oh.
just going to allow Laggy Rock to blow up. Shockwave not going to connect with Ama. And Ama lays the oil, and that's a breakaway for Ama. Oh my, oh my, Ama. We mentioned currently leading our race. And Makakowski, I don't know what happened there, but he's almost going to be zapping some people. He's going to be fighting for third now, for sure. But Ama could be making a huge statement headed into our final two tracks if he gets a first place while also being first place in the overall standings. That would be massive. G-Force not able to make anything happen. We've seen some glimmers here and there, but currently he's locked up in 10th place. It is Ama trying to finish it out. Laggy Rock has got a bomb. Is going to be segmenting him further away from Ama. And we see people go for that slow approach. And we see some people take the opposite. But either way, they are all getting tangled up in this oil, except for Sting, who takes it very intelligently, as tightly as he can, and somehow avoids all of that oil. So beautiful execution by Sting, and Sting alone, as everyone else gets majorly caught up in that oil.
The question is Laggy Rock going to catch Ama in the lead there? Because that win for Ama is huge, and same would go for the Laggy Rock.
Yes. Yes, indeed. We are here on lap 5 of 6. The racers out at the front are going to be beginning their final lap. G-Force occupying last place. Got some work left to do. Let's go check out that front. Okay, Ama. Green grass and blue skies. Pretty much for all of these racers in these podium positions as they finish up their final lines is Laggy Rock, Makakowski in third, 150-meter gap for fourth. Keela, Power8, BGM, third, fourth, fifth. Or I'm sorry, fourth, fifth, sixth, rather. And Yun finishes up, I think that's ninth place, actually. That Yun, nope, I'm wrong again. Yun in eighth place. So I need to see those overall standings before I make any definitive comments. But I think Yun, with such a poor finish on Game Room 2, is definitely going to shake up the standings. We see Ertzu getting passed up by Maddie there with a shockwave in the very final second. Just a little cherry on top of that race.
Yes.
But yeah, we do have the instant replays.
But we have Ama winning, Laggy Rock second, and Makakowski third. What is interesting, G-Force is 10th, and the Jan 8th, Sting 7th. So Power8 5th. I mean, the standings before the two two last races can be still really, really tight. I'm checking if the tables are ready. No, but this win actually puts Ama really ahead of the group. Because I think he won
Yeah.
the race back to back right now. Or no, or,
There might have been a gap of one track, but yeah, I think you're right. Um,
okay, so I think we can, because the session is getting really long, I think we can start with the next race, but in meanwhile we're just gonna show the table. So the players can go with the
that'd be
next
great.
track. Don't wait, just go load up the map. We're just gonna briefly show the tables, and we can start with the second to last track, which would be Santorini. And the tables are like this.
Wow, and it's still Yun in second place, but Ama has really broken away in that first place position. It looks like it's a fight for second and also third, fourth, fifth, sixth, all the way down, like we had been saying, all the way down to Makakowski, really. But Ama, breakaway performance. This would be huge for Ama. He has had the spotlight stolen by a lot of other drivers here in Division 1. And this would be a huge statement for him to make. He's got two more tracks left to do it, though. Santorini and Mysterious Toy Vault Factory 1. They are sort of oddballs, but they're also bona fide tracks enjoyed by a lot of people. So, yeah, like you said, we are ready to hop in, and it does look like we're hopping straight in. And let's see. We got Sting and Powerade and Yun at the back to start us out in Santorini. So pickups are going to be taken. Not a particularly pickup sparse track. Ama turned around there on jump one, and he is caught up midfield thanks to a zap followed by a star. Air2 does have to collide, but he's out in second. Powerade is in first. Laggy Rock in second. Okay. Things are definitely getting switched up just a little bit here. Air2 third. Of course, he would love a third place finish. BGM fourth. Makakowski fifth. Sting sixth. Where is Ama?
I mean, this is so important for the entire session where Ama will finish this race, because he either establishes his position and he is all safe for the last race, but if he finishes last, then oh my god, the last race will determine. Yeah, and Ama is the last. He's last.
And Yun is next to last. And Ama is first overall, and Yun is second overall. So this is really just going to change the entire layout of our entire standings if this happens as it is happening right now. Now, Yun has managed to find a number of positions in the meantime, but Ama has not, as far as we know. The pickups are coming out in full force. Zap going to connect with about 4 to 5 people. That fake is not going to be sending BGM lower. And that is really, that bridge section is incredibly impactful. BGM hit with another fake. He does lose one position. Makakowski moves into third. Laggy Rock holding on to second. But yeah, that bridge sequence, especially if you got oil, that is the place to use it, because if you can make someone fall off the bridge, that's incredible. Now, Laggy Rock couldn't pass on the bomb. Eventually he will, but he gets zapped in the meantime. And BGM is well, they're going to be playing musical chairs for third place. There's the oil that we talked about, but it's laid pretty late. Oh, there's two oils from the looks of things. And look at, oh, there's another oil. And that just means that these people further backfield are only going to be getting hit more and more off. Yun has to drive off the track. Oh, man. And Ama's in 11th, and he's rip roaring around. He can't really find much of anything. Kilabaris in second. Where has Laggy Rock gone? Laggy Rock fell out. Makakowski's still holding on to third. Power 8 still in first, though. Laggy Rock has been passed by Sting at this point. And Keela going to be slowing down dramatically, but he misses that other oil. Makakowski collides with Keela to not only knock him off the track, but also to give him that bomb. Oh my, Sting barely skirting around. Power 8, final lap here. Power 8, strong first place. Makakowski, strong second place, even stronger second place, although that's not going to be the tip that he wanted there, trying to avoid the oil and maybe overcorrecting. We've got this bridge section. It's looking all clear. Oh, Makikoski out of nowhere there. He's somehow collided with in the tunnel and also has a bomb that he's about to blow up on. He picks up the battery, but will he be able to finish out the track? Indeed, he will find second place. Kila third. Where is Ama? Yun is in fifth. Yun has put in insane recovery work from 10th place all the way up to 5th place. In fact, he might have been 11th when we were last looking at him. But where is Ama? Ama is in ninth. He's
He
passed up
improved.
Ertzu and Maddie. Oh, ho,
Oh,
ho, gee. Everything is falling apart
oh
for Ama at this
my
point.
god. This is so
The
bad for
wheels have
Ama.
fallen off,
Because those points,
and he
those
finishes
places
last.
were so important for him, honestly, here. This is really bad for Ama. But Powerade
Mm-hmm.
with a win, Makakowski second, Kilabarus third. It will put Powerade probably in the second place. But Ama, I mean the last race, I mean it's all going to the last race. Literally, no one is safe.
Yeah, as it often has. It's really just a bizarre scenario that's led us to this. Once again, Ama basically had so many points that he could afford to come in last one time, but he did come in last one time, and so now it's not a shoe in for him to win this. I don't even think podium is necessarily a shoe in. So he's really going to have to turn it up on Toy Volt Factory 1, and more importantly, he's going to have to not succumb to the pressure. It's not about doing well, it's just about not having another freak out moment.
Yes, and I gonna show the tables before the last race because the last race is going to be on Mysterious Toy Vault Factory with 6 laps, and the tables are like this. Ama still in the lead with 188
Okay.
points. He has a healthy lead though because he's
Yes.
ahead 13 points. Am I saying correctly? 13, 10,
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
13 points ahead of Powerade and 18 points ahead of Jan. So this is healthy, but if
Yes.
Ama finishes last, then this can be rough.
Mm,
This
mm.
can be rough.
It's happened before. In fact, it just happened in front of our eyes. So it definitely is feeling like it could happen again. But Ama has been performing so well. I would be surprised to see him have two bombs of a race in a row. But yeah, Yun putting up a fight. He really clawed his way back into fifth place in that race because he was sharing the back two spots with Ama there to start off Santorini. Um, and yeah, Sting and Makakowski tied. G-Force and BGM tied, and in fact, all four of them are 1 point away from each other. So fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, all going to get determined by this last track. Sting, Makakasi, G-Force, BGM, all grouped up here. Laggy Rock not too far behind, or not too far ahead, rather. So
And this is the last race. Is Ama going to secure his first place? We'll see. But
we
Powerade is
will.
the biggest danger right here.
Oil, Zap, where is it? We might see it come out right here. Makakowski and Yun both in the back positions. We saw Sting grabbing the star and passing up a number of people, a huge grouping for fifth place. We got BGM, Maddie, G-Force, Laggy Rock, and Sting. Laggy Rock blowing up from a bomb, but I will say Maddie and G-Force both near the bottom of standings, so them being in second, third, not too huge of a threat. But BGM getting 25 points. Um, we'll see how that affects the standings if he locks it down. We're very far away from this being done.
I think like all eyes are now on Powerade. If he secures the first place, then he can take Ama.
And look at Ama. Look at Ama in ninth place, and it's not a strong ninth place either. He's got Nick right behind him. Ertzu's right behind that. Ertzu's got a battery. He's passing up Ama.
That was beautiful
We got
battery.
Oils likely up ahead. Now that Shockwave going to be very effective. Catches two for the price of one. And I think that was Ama who used it. Now BGM, a strong showing here on the last track. big, powerful first place. G-Force, all of them running into that oil, which was very well placed. So it was kind of dark lighting and just people not expecting it. Powerade, in the meantime, that's who we mentioned. All eyes on Powerade, and he is currently in third. He's got his work cut out for him if he wants to get first, but he is in a podium spot overall right now. We see G-Force flexing a little bit of that track knowledge, able to launch his car straight over the railing, whereas a lot of people take it a bit of a stranger angle. But G-Force has that extremely natural angle, and we can see just how much work he is putting in at passing up BGM. Indeed, he does it. He hasn't had the best showing here in the session overall, but he's trying to finish strong. We've got Powerade being accosted by Kilobars with the battery. Ama has clawed his way up into sixth place, so I think he's feeling pretty comfortable right here, especially if he could pass up Laggy Rock. He does go four wheels into that oil shockwave coming out, but he had a zap, so he's looking good. He's looking good, Terry.
Yeah, I think only 2 laps left. Powerade still fighting, but if he will see that in the fourth place is Ama, then yeah, nothing he can do.
Yeah, and it was kind of a similar situation that we had for Division Two here, leading into Toy Bolt Factory. I think it might have been Division Three actually, but that's neither here nor there. They are starting their final laps. Ama is starting out in fifth, sixth, I think. BGM finishing up. Powerade in third. He's going to try to catch G. We'll see if he's able to do so. But that is first place for BGM. Powerade, what's he going to do here? Nope. It's going to be third for Powerade. Fifth for Ama.
Yeah.
Now,
So
we did have that big battle. It was like Sting, Makakowski, and two others. Air 2, not... Okay. Nothing too crazy. All
So,
right.
our final standings: BGM winning, GeForce with the second, Powerade with the third, and Ama actually defending his position. This will make actually Ama the winner of the session. So we have a completely new winner. Every session was won
Every
by
session.
by a different player.
Yeah.
This is
And the
crazy.
person who was leading our overall session in Division One actually doesn't have a win. And our third place, Powerade, didn't have a win either. And Powerade's going to continue to not have a win, despite being in likely in a podium spot or very close to the podium. So a lot of craziness happening in Division One.
Yeah, I'm asking also Nick to update the tables for the overall standings so we can have a brief look on that as well. But I'm waiting for
Yeah.
the final table to show it. Ama is for sure the winner. Powerade, I think Powerade secured the second place as well because he finished ahead of Jan, right?
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, this would make Jan was high also. I don't know. I don't. I'm waiting for the. Okay, the tables are ready for this
Shout out
session.
to Ama.
Yeah, let's
Shout out to Kippy.
update it real quickly. And yes, but the difference between Ama and Power, it's so tight. No, it's not tight. It's actually 8 points. So yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
So Powerade was fighting. I think like that would be much more closer if Powerade won this race. But BGM,
Yeah. Yes.
go on.
Can I just say, going from third to going to first is 9 points. That's a 9 point break point. You have 16 points for third, and you have 21 points. Or I'm sorry, 25 points for first. So you're absolutely right. If Powerade found first there, he would have had a 1 point advantage over Ama. He would have had he would have had exactly 200 points, and he would have won the session.
That would be insane. But BGM third, Jan fourth. We don't have the top three Chile at the end, unfortunately, but still a really strong showing. This entire session was so tight for so long. I think like after 8 races or 9 races, suddenly Ama just came to the lead and he sustained the lead until the finish line. Powerade is also extremely strong. But let's talk about our top three predictions. I said it would be GeForce, Laggy Rock, and Killabar. So none of my predictions happened. What about yours?
I thought you had Ama in your top three. I
I
could have
wa-
sworn you
I
had
was thinking
you
no.
took him out or something.
I had GeForce, I had Killabars, and I had Laggy Rock for sure.
Okay, okay. I had Laggy Rock as well, and I went with Ertzu, which did not come in handy. And I chose Frostbitten and Tom Dom, which were both not there. And so I ended up changing it to Sting because I was talking about Sting a lot in the pre-show. So none of mine hit at all. Um, so it is what it is. But I did want to say, yeah, we had BGM and Ewan, who basically were up there in those top positions that entire time. Ama came out of nowhere. We do have Power8 in the chat, who actually, I think he said the same thing that I was going to say before I said it, about how if he won that last race, he would have won the session. Indeed. And Laggy Rock in here with the bombs. He had so many bombs this session. Indeed, it was really crazy to see. That is just the way the pickup sessions go sometimes. And we had G4s saying delete Toy World Aquatica. You can't blame him after that
Okay,
insane
so
refill.
couple of details for today. We had, let me tell you, one, two, three, uh, 4, 5, 6 different players today winning the individual races. That's one of the thing. The winner Ama won 4 races today. Powerade won 3 races today. BGM 2 races. GeForce with the 3 races win. I mean, GeForce was like win and then the lowest points. Win, lowest points. Win, lowest points. So kind of crazy. Lagrock
Yeah,
with
yeah.
1 win. Killabarus with 1 win as well. Kind of lack of consistency in Killabarus because he had a lot of those lower positions. Couple of, I think he had 1/3 and and twice fourth and 1 win. So Nick, Matty, Ertzu, and Sting and Makakowski, and Jan without a win today. Jan with double second, no, with 3 times second place. So a couple of details like this. I will update the overall standings to see who's where in the table itself. So give me a moment. Okay, the table
Nick
is
saying backwards driving was the most fun stuff to do today. We missed you backwards. I didn't see you backwards driving
okay.
it today.
We
I would
have
have
to
loved
highlight
that,
it.
Nick.
We have to highlight it. Everyone, go check up the replay with, I think, the space station race. The Killabarus trick
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
end, just beautiful. Beautiful what this guy did with the battery backward driving, and then, like, I mean, as we said, Fast Furious material. He is the family member of Vin Diesel right now. So crazy. But let's look. Powerade in a lead of the entire league. D for second, Frostbitten
Oh.
losing the lead. But let's remember that out of 10 play days, 3 of the play days are not counted, chosen by the player. So best 7 session counts, basically.
Yeah. Yes. So, take it with a grain of salt, but it is really cool to see Power8 up there leading our charge. We do have G-Force, who was the overall winner of season 1 in second, and Frostbitten, who I think was second place and was locked in with G-Force, fighting with him for most of the event. I think Famous was in there too, but yeah, Frost was definitely top 3 of Division 1 in season 1. So cool to see him once again at the podium. He couldn't make it today, so going to be dropping down, but yeah.
I hope that we'll see some faces return for the full stack of the session. We didn't have Kiki, Lamper, Tom Dom today, unfortunately, but I think Powerade is establishing himself as a really strong contender to win the league. I mean, the guy is just, for the last 2 sessions, extremely strong, extremely powerful. He back to back finished second in the session, so this is really important thing to say here.
Yeah.
So he is lacking a session win, but we have to say that 5 different people won the session, so there is no one dominating force as is in the second league where TT won 3 sessions that he attended. So
Yeah, yes. I don't think you can possibly understate how ridiculous that is. We often see clear favorites emerge by this point in a set. We're halfway through, and we don't have a single person who has doubled up on session wins the entire time. That is something rare to see, and it says that this division is extremely competitive, and it shows that these different races really do highlight different strengths for people and also different weaknesses for people.
And I have to say, just as a sneak peek, guys, I'm working really hard on one thing, but there is a high possibility that we're gonna reach a fullest level of the prize pool. It's not a done deal, but we could potentially be at the 500. So I'm working hard backstage. We'll see what happens. I'm positive. I'm positive about it, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't sub to this channel. Subscribe to the Revolt United channel. Support your community. Support Honk. This is a lot of work, as you can see. So yeah, guys, I hope this will all work out, and the next session just okay again. Unfortunately, there is no video editor, so there is nothing to edit the videos of my challenges. But I still encourage you guys to challenge yourself with the challenges that Ama, the winner of today's session, prepared for all of you. And next week we're gonna have as a really brief, let me see what kind of, do we have lobby announcement? No, we don't have the lobby announcement. Let me just
Yeah,
check.
it'll be here tomorrow.
So let me check what will we have actually for the league.
Okay.
Wait,
While
where's
you're checking, shout out to Nick, Ama, Lampert. We got Copysoft as well. Kiki on the art. Rod hosting.
okay. So we have
Pokers. Go ahead.
strategy with pickups of, I don't know what strategy means here.
So strategy session, I think what it is where you have like let's say 6 cars and you have to use 1 car on each track. Now let me make sure that, and feel free to correct me if I'm wrong there, but I do think that is what that strategy session is alluding to. Let me see. Strategy says all stock cars. Okay, so I obviously was wrong about that. No, I think it is right. You have to choose like each stock car at least one time. Someone in the chat might be able to fill me in on the details of that. I'm scared I'm mixing it up with a different session, but I do think strategy is basically has to do with having a limited selection of cars and having to choose the one that you think is best for each track.
I see, I see. Anyways, guys, it's getting late. Thank you all for watching. Remember to support it. Thank you, Honk, for a great commentary. And yeah, I see all the comments. I wish I could. I will do my best to actually join Honk for the third or the second division. But trust me, guys, it's extremely hard for me. I mean, I do my best to actually be there for the first division. I said one word, so I have to say the second word. I will try my best. Maybe there will be day that, oh, I will be there. I will be able to actually host, but I had a long day today. Yeah, guys, we all have car drivers. I'm looking for a new car. Give me suggestions. I need a family car because my wife is pregnant with second child. So,
Hey,
yeah,
congratulations.
yeah, thank you. So yeah, Papa Terror needs a bigger car. Unfortunately, I have two small ones, so I gonna maybe buy myself a Cougar. Who knows?
Nice. I hear those are cheap. They're not very good, so you should be good.
No
Should be able to get
Hama,
one of
no
those for
no
cheap.
no no Toyeka, no Toyeka, no Hama. Just a Cougar to treat myself.
Definitely not Hummer. Definitely not Hummer. That's a 2-seater, I feel like.
Yeah,
All right.
anyways, I think that's it. So bye bye everyone, bye Hunk, and see you
Cheers.
next